Hey everybody, hope you're having an awesome day. I know I am. So hopefully you had a great holiday week and hopefully a short week at work. If you're not in the US, well then hopefully you just had a great regular week, right? So and hopefully it was awesome for you. So today I'm going to do something that we've seen before or similar to what I've done before. If you're interested in seeing different recipes and people trying different things on the same type of thing, so we've been playing around with this protein sparing modifying fast bread for a while. We've probably over the last couple of weeks have probably cooked half a dozen or more different recipes, trying a bunch of different things, trying to get the right texture because we have some things we want to do in the future. So we've been kind of trying to find that out. I will tell you that a lot of the breads are really dry. They're may be good for something like French toast or something like that, but they weren't the texture that we wanted to. Today we're going to go through a recipe that we think is the best recipe that we came up with out of all the combinations of all the folks. Hey, if that's something you're interested in seeing and you think that's something that would be useful to you, stick around and watch this video because I think you're going to find it's really good. This bread is super moist, it's super soft, it comes out really good. It's great toast, it's just great as bread. You can make it into buns, hot dog buns, hamburger buns. You don't need to drink with it when you're eating it or anything else. So we've really enjoyed this bread. This is the recipe that we've kind of settled on and that we were going to go forward with. So if you want, stick around. Like I said, I think you'll like it. Hopefully, I know you'll give it a thumbs up. Hopefully, you subscribe and hit that little bell icon over here. That would be great for the channel. I'd love to grow the channel. I'd love to bring you a lot more good stuff. Like I said, we have some more recipes coming up in the next couple of weeks, as well as some regular recipes. So I do have a channel members down there below. If you'd kind of like to tell me what you would like to see, I let the members suggest to me and kind of go based off of what members have. I'm going to have a monthly drawing for winners this month. Monthly drawing is going to go out this week. So I did draw the person today, and I will be sending out that winning prize today. So congratulations to that member, and I will be sending her a note asking for an email address to her as well, so we can get that out to her. So hopefully that stuff interests you. Hopefully we have a lot of stuff to offer. We have started putting some content out there just for members only as well. Not many members at this point in time. So as we get more members in there, we'll actually put more private stuff out. So like I said, we've probably in the past week, I've videotaped only a couple of them, but in the last week, we've probably cooked, I'm going to say, between 6 and 12 different recipes. There's been a whole mess of them. Some of the recipes have gone in the trash because they were too foamy. Some of them, the consistency and the texture looked okay, but when you ate them, they were extremely dry. So we kind of went through and we looked at a lot of videos this past couple of weeks as well. Everybody from Indigo Nelly to our Carnivore Angel, to Lindsay, to Anita over Ketogenic Woman, to Jana Greta, to Maria Emmerich. Kind of gone through all the folks out there that are making the bread quite consistently in different recipes and trying different things. We were trying different combinations. So this is the one that we settled on and we think we are enjoying the most, right? So it's a combination of the egg whites and the egg powders. So it's closer to the original recipe that Maria Emmerich did, other than we've just added a few things to it. So I will put a link down to Maria Emmerich's page down there. She's kind of the one that kind of started this whole egg white bread, or at least brought it to the forefront. I know people talk about the cloud bread and it's similar to the cloud bread, which it is, but it's a better spin on it. So I think it's actually much better texture and stuff as well too. So let me adjust the cameras here. We'll come back here and then we will start making our bread. It shouldn't take long. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is put some egg white powder in a bowl. I just put everything in a bowl and first, with the exception of some at the very end. So this is just the egg white powders. I'm going to use the Keto Chow version of it. So this is the one that has the Maria Emmerich picture on it that she kind of helped Keto Chow come up with. So I will tell you, this takes a little bit longer to whip up than the regular. So then after that, we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of allulose next. Get my measuring spoons out here. So this is 2 tablespoons of allulose. And this is the one I'm using. This is nothing else. It's just allulose sweetener, nothing else, right? So that's what I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. I do have links for all this stuff down below, and I have a Keto Chow 10% discount off if you use the Keto Chow egg whites. So, and then I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. This is just pink Himalayan salt. That's all it is. I'm just going to put a little bit in. Help give it a little bit of taste. And then we're going to put in a tablespoon of the cream of tartar. I guess it'd be this way, right? So, I will put this recipe down on my webpage down below. So if you go down there and you look at the link, there should be a link down there to go to my webpage for that. And then we're going to use some xanthan gum. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of that. Oh, actually, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of this, not tablespoons. 2 teaspoons of this. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Make sure you go read the resume. Yeah, you go. Make sure you go read the recipe. Just to make sure you get it right. Gosh. So I get all the dry ingredients together in here. I mix it up a little bit. I'm going to get a fork here. I'm going to mix it all up a little bit just to kind of get it mixed. And then I'm going to add egg whites in here. Now, I'm going to tell you that, oops, I didn't have my 1 cup on here. We have done the dried powder, we've done it with egg whites, and we found that the egg whites work so much better than just the powder. The other ones are easier to make. I'm going to tell you that these come out so much more moist and so much better and everything else. So I took 3 eggs, and I took the yolks. I took the egg whites and separated the egg whites and the yolks, right? So the yolks I'm going to use later. I'm going to set those aside. So I took the egg whites. I'm going to pour it in here because I want to get 1 cup. And I know I don't get quite a cup out of 3 eggs. So I've been using the egg whites to fill it up the rest of the way. So that's what I've been using. And then I just kind of take the mixer paddle. I kind of mix it all up. Otherwise, you can get a little bit of a cloud from it if you don't. Just kind of get it all mixed in there good. Get it started. And then I'm going to put it on the beater. Stick that down. I'm going to slide the camera over just a little bit so you can see it. Right. I'm going to put the beater on. Now what I do is I turn it on slow for a little bit just to get it mixed in together a little bit. Then I turn it on high, and then we'll come back and I let it run for about 5 to 10 minutes depending on what type of egg white powder you use and which. And I find with the egg whites themselves, they actually whip a little bit faster and they go a little bit better. So a little bit low just to get it started, get everything mixed up a little bit, right? I'm going to put this on there so if it splatters at all or anything, it won't go anywhere. And then I'm going to turn this all the way up, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes and see what it looks like. Alright, we're going to slow this down for a minute. It is looking pretty good. I'm going to show you what it looks like with stiff peaks. you're anything like me and you didn't cook a whole lot of meringues or anything else, you probably, so in stiff peaks it kind of should look kind of like that, where it will stay up in the air like that. So that's what it kind of looks like. So these are stiff peaks. Now we're going to add a little bit. We're going to add the 3 egg yolks to this. Now I will tell you that it's going to fall just a little bit. So you got to kind of expect that. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the mixer on slow. I'm going to take the 3 egg yolks. I'm going to add them in there. 1. Another one. 2. We're going to add the last one. 3. We're going to add those in there. Then we're going to speed it up here just for a couple of seconds. All right, so that's fully incorporated. Get that all out of here. I know you've probably seen everybody do this 1,000 times, but I'm going to make it 1,001. So, again, so really simple recipe. I'm going to move this a little bit out of the way, and we're going to move this out of the way. We're going to slide this over, pop this off, make sure you can see that good. We're going to put this into the pan. That's the oven preheating. We're going to throw it in the oven at 325 for about 35 minutes is what we found. 35 to 37 minutes. So it depends on your oven and your altitude and all the other good stuff, right? So you know, I put these little pins on here to hold the parchment paper in place while I'm doing this, and a couple of times I've forgotten to put them in there, and and they melted there's a little plastic clips on them. Other things that I've done I've tried to take the spatula and spray oil on it, because I was told that that would help keep it so that it, I'm going to take these off now before they forget. Alright, and one of the things I do is I do try to put a slit down here. If I find if I can get a good slit down the middle, that the bread will rise a lot better and it won't go all wonky on me. I call it wonky. But that's it. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you what I put in the oven. Alright, so this is just going to go in the oven. It looks like this right now. So we're going to throw this in the oven. Really simple. And we're going to come back in about 35 minutes. I'm going to set the timer. All right, timer set. We'll come back in 35 minutes and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, so we're almost done. It's almost done with the 35 minutes. The bread looks really good. I know you can't see it in there. We'll pull it out and show you in a minute. Actually, we won't, because the fact, I wanted to do some of this because of the fact when bread is done at the 35-minute mark, turn your oven off, let it sit for an additional 10 minutes. Do not open the oven. Do not take it out of the oven. Don't open the door or the bread will fall, right? So it's like a lemon meringue or anything else. So if you're not really cautious while you're cooking the egg whites, the egg whites will fall, right? So the real egg whites. So so you leave the oven door closed and let it cook 10 additional minutes with the oven off. So that's one of the things that I just kind of wanted to point out. Again, I can't tell you how many different recipes that we've cooked over the past week or couple of weeks. One of the things I have talked a little bit about, or I wanted to kind of come up clear. So when I do the calculations, I'm not going to include the allulose in the macros. You can include them if you want, or I'll give you the number whether you want as well. One of the things that I've noticed was when I go in and look at people's, I don't care who it is, when I go in and look at their macros, most of them don't include the allulose, because allulose, your body doesn't absorb the allulose. The allulose is a natural sugar that your body just passes through it, and it doesn't actually process it. So most people subtract it. So that's at least what I've noticed. I will tell you that a teaspoon of allulose has like 4 carbs in it. So if you're using a quarter of a cup of allulose in your bread, that's like 48 carbs or something like that in a quarter cup of allulose. So I'm not going to include it in here. I've noticed that most of the other folks do not either. So I'm going to turn my oven off. I'm going to turn my timer on 10 minutes. And we're going to let that sit in there for 10 minutes. So when I come out at the end and we do the taste test and the macros, I want to make sure that I'm clear with that as well. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, I have an email down below. I will be putting a link to this too. Instead of putting a recipe down there, I'm going to put a link to my web page that I'm working on, that you can go over there and then you can get the recipe off the web page. So I will put a link there. I think it's actually easier rather than trying to write it all down. I think you can either copy it and paste it into another document. I am working on it. I got to figure out how to put the print buttons in there so you can actually print it if you want, or save it as a PDF or whatever. So, but I'm working on it. I'm by no means a web person. So, but I'm working on it. So, but I just wanted to bring up that little point about allulose as well. So it kind of was something that I've noticed that over that as we put these numbers out and we put those macros out, and as other people do it, everybody's excluding the allulose. So again, I only use 2 tablespoons rather than a quarter cup, because you're just using it really to brown the bread. You could actually use one tablespoon if you wanted to even make it less. But when we go at the end here, when we do the taste test and the macros, I want to bring that out. And again, I want to just make sure that you understand that this is the bread that we like the best. I'm not going to say it's the best, because it all depends on what you're using the bread for, whether it's rolls or whether it's French toast or whatever it is. So you have to kind of figure out which one's for you. For us, for my wife and I, this was the best one that we found. It tastes the best. It's soft. It's moist. It's easy to make it, and I can eat it like regular bread. I don't have to worry about choking on it or anything else. It's not very dense. So again, it's very light and airy. So this is the recipe we liked, and we thought was the best. It would be a great time if you're enjoying the content and you think this is a good time. Thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell icon down there. Again, members only. If you see something that you would like to see cooked, some keto chow recipes or some main course recipes or more desserts or something else, if you're a member, comment and let me know. And if you're a member, we will put it on the list. Now, again, most of these things are taped, I'm going to say a couple weeks ahead of time, a week or 2 ahead of time. So if you also want to see some of the early releases stuff, if you want to see it a few days ahead of everybody else, that's a great way to do it as members only. So we release them early, as well as in the future, we probably will be doing some videos as the membership grows, just for members only. So if you have suggestions or ideas for other videos, let me know down below. All right, I'll come back here in a few minutes when the 10 minutes is up. Then I'll pull out and I'll show you what the bread looks like then. Then we're going to let it cool, and then we'll show you again, because I'm sure it's going to shrink a little bit. That's just the nature of the bread, but I'm going to tell you it's all about the taste, right? So come back here in a minute. All right, the oven is done. I'm going to turn it off. We're going to pull this thing out and take a look at it. So there's what it looks like. Like I said, you put a slit down the middle of it, it kind of splits. I will tell you this bread will fall a little bit, so it won't be quite as big as what it looks like now. But we're going to let this sit here and we'll let it cool for about 10 minutes, and then we'll take it out of the pan, and we'll show you what it looks like outside the pan. See how much it falls, right? So we'll see you in a couple of seconds. All right, so I just took the bread out of the pan. It's still a little warm, but not too bad. So I'm going to take the parchment paper off. I will tell you the parchment paper has been a savior of my life. So it makes doing dishes and everything else so much easier. So, all right, get back, throw it in the pan. Again, I'll show you. You'll see that it did fall a little bit, but it still looks pretty good. I don't think it fell a lot. You know, these loaves are a little bit smaller than just the regular egg white powder easiest version, so I think that they don't quite as big as well. I'm going to cut a piece off. I'll show you the inside. So again, the texture, you'll see the texture of the bread. But I'm going to tell you, this bread is a lot more moist, and it's actually a lot nicer to eat than the other one. So this is the end piece, right? I'll kind of pull it in there so you can see. Hopefully the camera can adjust to that. So really nice. Smells good. Like I say, the nutritional yeast in it makes it really taste well. So it really is good. Like I said, you can pull it off. You can eat it. You don't need to drink a water with it or anything else. So it's really good. It's easy to toast. Now again, if you're looking for something a little drier that's going to hold up a little more substantial, you know, you may want to look at one of the other breads for us. Again, we want something soft and supple. You know, these are great for hot dog buns, hamburger buns as well. You can put some seasoning in with them. We are going to try to do some other things, like I say, over the next couple of weeks with them. So hopefully they come out good. I'll tell you in a future video. But this is definitely our go-to bread. This is what we will be making for our consumption every day. Probably every weekend we will be making 2 loaves of these. We have been for a while. Of course, this past 2 weeks we've been making so many different breads I can't tell you. And again, a lot of them we've thrown away just because we didn't like the way the texture came out. They look good and the texture was good, but we didn't like how they tasted or how dry they were when you ate them at another day or 2 later. So this is definitely going to be our go-to. We made a loaf of this past, I think we made a loaf of it on Thursday. Here it is Sunday, and that loaf is gone already because we've been eating it for breakfast and everything else and sandwiches, and so we're making another loaf. Like I said, these loaves are not quite as big as the other ones, but really good. I'll tell you, these are really good. So macros on this right here, I wrote them down this way, so I'm going to give it to you in a couple ways. So this is a slice of this bread I'm slicing this into 16 pieces. You know, again, I'd like to kind of get them fairly thin, but not too thin, but I don't want them really thick either. So, so 30 carbs on one of these slices. Now, total carbs on this, I'm going to tell you it's 0.5, right? So, again, this is without the allulose. I'll make that, make sure that you understand that that's the way everybody else is giving their bread. 0.5 carbs, so a half a carb, so two slices makes up 1 carb. 4 grams of protein in one of these, 0 fiber, 1 fat, and 2 net carbs. or I shouldn't say that. It says 2 net carbs. I don't know why it says 2 net carbs. Well, I guess it would be. So if I guess if you minus the it's 0.5. I should say that. So it's 0.5 because you're minusing the allulose. For some reason, Carb Manager didn't minus the allulose. It doesn't minus it. So so you minus it, and it's actually 0.5 for the net carb, right? So that's the way it works out. So if you add in the allulose, it comes out to two carbs per slice, and then it's 0.5 net carbs, right? So, but I'm not going to add the allulose in, so I'm just calling it straight 0.5, and that's the way it works out. Like I said, a quarter cup. I went out and looked at several different brands of allulose, and a quarter cup of allulose has anywhere from 48 to 60 carbs in it. But then if you're doing net carbs, they minus the whatever it is, and it's 0, right? So so I'm going to take it, and Maria Emmerich did it, and everybody else I've seen do it. They're minusing the allulose, so I am it as well. So so it's pretty good. If you're doing protein sparing modifying fast day, and you're eating this at a half a carb per slice, or 1 whole carb per 2 slices with 1 gram of fat, or 2 grams of fat if I eat 2 slices of toast, you're still well within your macros, right? So the thing with protein sparing modifying fast, if you're doing protein sparing modifying fast, is that you stay under 10 total carbs. So 2 slices of this is 1, and you stay below 30 grams of fat, right? So if 2 slices are 2 carbs, so that's well below the 30, right? And then again, the protein on it is 4, so if you had 2 slices, that makes 8, so that really helps your protein intake as well too. So so anyway, hey, hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you give it a thumbs up. Hopefully you subscribe, hit that little bell icon. Again, if there's anything else you'd like to see, some other stuff we have coming up with the bread, if you have recipes that you would like to see me cook or play around with, let me know down in the comments down below. You know, if you enjoyed the video, comment down below. I really, really appreciate it. When people comment and interact with me, it lets me know that they're enjoying it or not enjoying it, so that I can either make it better or I can do something different. You know, so again, I would love to continue to grow the community. I love doing this. You know, you guys are awesome. You guys really drive me. I'm really trying to create new great things for you. Hopefully you enjoy them. And again, you know, like I said, anything I can do to help you, there's an email down below. Email me. I'll do whatever I can do to help you. It may take a day or two, because I don't check it every day, and because I do have a full-time job besides YouTube. And you know, so if you email me, it may take me a day or two to get back to you, but I will get back to you. All right. So just be patient, please. And again, hopefully you like it. You know, I'm going to end it here because I know I'm rambling a little bit. Hey, you guys are awesome. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Have a great week. Just remember that saying, you are awesome.